Rashida seemed to have finally had enough of Kirk Frost's adultery, which has been a constant problem throughout their 25-year union. Following years of putting up with Kirk's repeated infidelity scandals, it seems that Rasheeda has attained her breaking point, ejecting him from the hip-hop and love enthusiasts in the house. Atlantans are too familiar with they experience both highs and lows in their partnership, featuring Kirk's well-known relationship with Jasmine Washington, leading to a child, and all of the falsehoods he has spoken over time. Rasheeda's choice to remove Kirk might very well be a sign of their marriage is ending, and a lot of people are assuming that separation will be the next step. Considering Kirk's past, it's Rasheeda would eventually become reasonable enough adopt this stance, as the proverb "once a cheater is always a cheater" powerfully in this circumstance, as Kirk has kept violating her moment of trust, and once more in the event that Rasheeda files. In terms of divorce, it would be a big era of her existence, as she has been with Kirk for almost 20 years, and they both have a lengthy history together. Both individually and together, they've developed a family and enterprises, but in the end, it appears that Kirk's actions may be driven Rasheeda to the extent of no comeback. Now that it's finished, let's move. Regarding Kirk's request for child support, years after his lie and infidelity, Rasheeda claims that Kirk is a serial master of deception and a cheater, so much so that she is unwilling to have her children around him these days. This isn't she's creating a love and hip-hop tale. She obviously has had enough of the bullshit. Not to be overlooked is Kirk's history of lies. Recall the moment Jasmine revealed the Carly some tea, read about the birth of a boy. Alongside Kirk owns it. Carly confronted him, and Kirk had the nerve to lie to Jasmine's face, acting like he didn't even know who she was. Then Kirk tried to flip the script, convincing Rasheeda that it was all just a prank because he knew Carly would tell Rasheeda about the whole mess. Meanwhile, Carrie showed up with all the invoices disclosing Kirk and Jasmine's connection. Furthermore, who could forget how Ras read those jumbled text conversations between Kirk and Jasmine? Handled it with an incredible standing there, contesting all he said to Jasmine, but Rasheeda had the evidence directly before her. Like to Kirk, come on, how much of a lie are you willing to be? Why is Rasheeda exhausted with Kirk's behavior, refusing to take responsibility for too long, and he now has to deal with the fallout? This is about to become more messed up. Nothing. I never noticed any of the news that Rasheeda is apparently getting a divorce following being married for 25 years is startling, but not totally unanticipated considering their tumultuous past across time. Kirk has been accused of cheating on many occasions. For example, patronizing the youngster outside of their union, which was a significant the program's plot. Rasheeda has been renowned for supporting him in spite of all the drama and public scrutiny, but it seems like she could have found her at last. Fans of Breaking Point who have adhered to they may have observed this on their journey, as the pressure on the link has long been obvious. Long time, it appeared that following a turbulent 25-year partnership, Adoration and Atlanta-based hip-hop artist Rasheeda has at last resolved to apply for her divorce. Spouse Kirk Frost reportedly spreading rumors Rasheeda, who has a lengthy tolerated Kirk's unfaithful actions, apparently tired of his infidelity and dishonesty, has ruined their union. Years during the duration of their connection, Kirk has made several notices for his adultery, in particular scheming on screen in front of Rasheeda during a vacation focused on hip-hop and love during this time. Turned into one of the most notorious in the series, Kirk's fatherhood denial at the time of Rasheeda got pregnant in season 2. Hip-hop and love were a defining pair, point in their narrative that causes major disagreement inside their marriage. In third season, Kirk used a DNA test to demonstrate the father of the child, much to Rasheeda's shock, causing further harm to their already delicate bond between them and Rocky. Unions also resulted in conflicts with Shirlene. Rasheeda's mother is renowned for drove over Kirk's motorcycle in one of those spirited disagreements. Despite the years of public fluctuations, Rashida is now here. To be taking back her freedom and putting the past marriage behind them brought her such suffering. If the rumors of if divorce, if real, it would indicate an important turning point in Rasheeda's life, who has had the longest standing position. The program's actors are renowned for juggling her professional obligations and turbulent connection with Kirk. After attentively following Rasheeda's journey, many love and hip-hop followers have praised her choice, would ultimately depart Kirk following years of treachery. It appears Rasheeda is opting to provide her contentment and tranquility top priority, as without Kirk, she continues on. Kirk, Rasheeda, and Frost's union has unquestionably been among the most turbulent and contentious hip-hop and love relationships after over 25 years of ups and downs, Atlanta and downs. Although Kirk was first presented as a devoted husband and the manager was committed to supporting Rasheeda fulfill her aspirations in the music business, things became more sinister when their marriage turned as the main focus of the season 2 drama of the program. Kirk started to show off greater hostility. SC conduct, especially when he charged Rasheeda with infidelity after realizing she was pregnant. This signaled the start of a string of treacheries, including Kirk to cheat on Rasheeda, use 2 cameras, ladies, and forcing her to obtain an abortion. In spite of these problems, the pair Kirk reunited in season 3, although kept causing chaos in their marriage. His bad choices, such as hiring a barman as their server babysitter and challenging Rasheeda in season 4, his artist Ashley Nicole, just made their relationship more tense. Possibly the greatest blow to their season 6 included marriage, when it was disclosed that Kirk was the child's father. Jasmine, a stripper, this resulted in a brief division of work between Kirk and Rasheeda is in season 7, but ultimately reconcile after the unexpected passing of Kirk's mother. However, connection continually remained afflicted by Kirk's persistent infidelity and the deceit that Rasheeda has been forced to maneuver in the spotlight. As her 24th approaching wedding anniversary, there are reports of finally, Rasheeda has filed for divorce. hints that it's possible she's achieved her reaching a breaking point in their union. Nevertheless, lasting more than 20 years has been tainted by ongoing scandals, and many supporters believe Rashida should be at peace and joy following all of the upheaval. Kirk's for if these rumors turn out to be accurate, it will signal the conclusion of one of the longest-standing and the most striking partnerships in the series. Love and Hip Hop. In frank and passionate dialogue recorded by NMTV, Kirk Frost revealed regarding his union with Rasheeda, recognizing the errors he committed that put a great deal of load on their interaction with those who have criticized it, doubted his and their marriage conduct across time. Kirk acknowledging their imperfections and expressing regret for the adultery that nearly resulted in their breakup. He said that while he and Rasheeda debated divorce, she once remained devoted to him. In spite of the public examination and the problems they have together during the Lil Scrappy, a clip who recently after a divorce from Bambi chimed in order to acknowledge Rasheeda for her tenacity and faithfulness during the highs and lows of Scrappy's marriage. Whitehead echoed the statement, saying that managing a divorce from Sierra as well. Both Gates men complimented Rasheeda for supporting Kirk in spite of the numerous they encountered challenges. Kirk thought back to his options about how to address things during their partnership. They differed. Challenges. He'd acknowledged that rather than making the decisions that he ought to have paused to think, discovered who he was, and steer clear of the errors that caused their marital discord. I should never have gotten there. Entering the street I entered as well, Kirk said, admitting that he was unable to manage the difficult periods in their union, as he ought to have, given rise to his adultery in the opinion of the public that ensued. C stated that after 23 years of marriage, years are something many people have. People don't go through what he acknowledged having one pay up. He underlined that he is accepting accountability for his behaviors and has gained knowledge from his errors. In Kirk's contemplation of his marriage takes place when there are rumors that Rasheeda submitted a divorce. While it's still unknown if it's true that Kirk is willing to openly acknowledge his transgressions and accept responsibility for his prior decisions, clarifies the intricacies of their committed partnership. Kirk Frost's acknowledgement and analysis of his reactions to earlier errors have been conflicting from the general population, yet some see his recognizing and feeling remorse as first stages in the direction of healing. His union with others, such as Rasheeda, are still important, especially considering its lengthy history. Regarding adultery and its effects on their relevance to Lil's remarks, Whitehead and Scrappy provide a blend of encouragement and respect for Frost and Rasheeda's capacity to endure in spite of the difficulties. They draw attention to the resilience and strength are required. Sustain a long-term partnership in the face of both public scrutiny and internal conflict. However, a large number of the video's comments are "I am doubtful of Frost's counsel and regretful." They emphasize that in spite of his prominent apologies for the ongoing infidelity and scandals might eclipse any sincere attempts to make amends between the Frost intricacy and Rasheeda's relationship, including what they have in common. Public dramas and history continue to be discussed among supporters and followers. The circumstances mirror the further discussion on pardoning responsibility and the difficulties of keeping up a connection under the highlight.